Welcome. As people begin to log in, I would like to let everyone know that we are going to be recording this webinar so that we can post the video on our website for those who are not able to attend at this time. But we'd like to welcome everyone. We'd also like to note that this is part of a series that we'll be doing monthly webinars targeting those in the manufacturing sector, specifically on helping them find ways to reduce their energy costs and providing assistance in whatever way we can. So our next webinar will actually be on Valentine's Day, February 14th. We're aiming for the lunch hour for most people in the central time zone and do that from 12 to 1. Each of these webinars is going to be targeted to be approximately 30 to 40 minutes long, with then plenty of time to respond to any questions that people might have about the content or the things that we discuss. I'm going to go ahead and get started as people get logged in. My name, by way of introduction, is Brian Rasmussen. I'm a professor at Texas A&M University. I've been there for approximately 20 years. I am the director of the Industrial Training and Assessment Center there at Texas A&M, as well as the Gulf Coast Center of Excellence. These are programs funded by the U.S. Department of Energy to provide no-cost assistance to manufacturers, particularly the small and medium-sized manufacturers in the Gulf Coast area. Now, the program here at Texas A&M has been around for almost 40 years now. We have quite a bit of experience doing these things, but we look forward to always interacting more and deeply and broadly with the manufacturers in our area. Today, this webinar is going to cover a number of items. We're primarily going to focus on technical assistance programs that are freely available to anyone in the manufacturing area, and then also some financial programs that you may not be aware of where you may receive financial assistance for implementing changes or purchasing equipment or so forth. We'll touch a little bit on some workforce training resources, but the bulk of that is going to be reserved for another webinar. We didn't want to pack this one too deeply or too densely. So I'm going to start by talking about what I'm going to call the ecosystem of technical assistance that surrounds the Industrial Training and Assessment Center program. We'll start by just talking about this program in particular. As I said, this program's been around for a long time. It actually predates the Department of Energy, is over 45 years old. This involves faculty and engineering students from a number of universities around the country. The goal is to have a center close by to most major manufacturers with a focus on the medium-sized manufacturers. For anyone who is part of a manufacturing or wastewater treatment plant or a few supporting industries, you are eligible for a no-cost energy assessment where we will bring a team of engineers on site. We will do a complete evaluation of your utility usage, as well as do an assessment of all your equipment and processes on site, develop recommendations, and do the financial analysis for you, provide you with a report that then you can use to then guide implementation changes. There's no obligation associated with this program. It is offered freely, and we are a neutral body. We do not advocate for any particular brand, nor do we receive any financial backing from any particular equipment or brand. And so these recommendations are intended to be objective and meant to help manufacturers in the U.S. be more competitive. Now, to qualify for this program, you must be a U.S. manufacturer or a wastewater treatment plant with yearly energy bills. So this is combined electricity, natural gas, and in some case, water or other things. And those bills need to be more than $100,000 a year, but less than $3.5 million per year. And now some of these requirements can be waived under certain circumstances. So if you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me or go to the program webpage and just click on Request an Assessment, and we'll get you the help you need. As I said, this is a program that does dual duties of both training for engineering students to be the next wave of the manufacturing workforce, but as well, we conduct no-cost energy assessments for manufacturers. Um, we've been, over the years, we've been to nearly 1,000 facilities just from the center here at Texas A&M. If you look at assessments nationwide across the various programs, as of fall of last year, there were over 21,000 different assessments and 160,000 recommended projects. This program is completely confidential. The copy of the report that you receive will only go to you. There is some anonymous data that is supplied to a database, but otherwise everything is kept proprietary and confidential to your site. The link to the program website right now is iac.university. You can go there for more information, or as I said, to request an assessment for your facility. But if you'd rather, you're just welcome to contact me and I'll be happy to get you connected with the center nearest you and get you set up for an assessment. Alongside the Industrial Assessment Center program is a program known as the Better Plants program. This is for those facilities who are interested in taking things to the next step and perhaps going a little deeper, but also receiving additional assistance as they try to implement changes or upgrade equipment or those things to lower their utility bills. This is a voluntary program. The manufacturers commit to some type of energy savings goal, and in return for making that goal, they will receive at no cost access to a technical accounts person that's dedicated to you that can help you through every step of the process. These are folks that are well trained. Many have advanced education as well as extensive experience. Along with this program, there's opportunities for national recognition, technical support as you go through and bid on equipment and go implement changes. You can request in-plant training, so people will fly out to your facility and conduct trainings in your facility for your personnel on a variety of topics. And there's also software tools that you have access to as well. This is a program that's been around and has had considerable impact across the manufacturing sector. Software tools, if you have any questions about these, I'd be happy to meet with you and give you some more information. But there's calculators that help you identify potential projects as well as calculate potential savings. There's some training resources available, as well as connections to those kind of cutting edge resources out of our national labs. One of the benefits of this program that I think is somewhat undersold is access to what they call their diagnostic equipment program. If you are part of this program, you can request any one or more of a whole range of equipment that they will ship to you and that you can use to monitor, analyze, spot check all types of equipment. Some of these pieces of equipment, these measurement tools are quite expensive, so the access to having these where you could just borrow them for a time is a real benefit. And the help doesn't necessarily just stop with a recommendation and an estimate of costs. There is deeper assistance as you go through the implementation process. And they will even take you so far as to assisting you with being prepared for ISO 50001 certification, which is the energy management system ISO standard. It's relatively new compared to some of the other ISO standards, but they will assist you as you get ready for that process. They also have some software tools that will assist in this effort. And finally, the Better Plants program has an incredible resource library, everything from just simple tip cards that you can take with you that give you some of the best practices out there for a variety of systems, such as pumps and fans and steam boiler systems or compressed air. as well as much more detailed source books that cover all the major industrial equipment categories along. And in these manuals, each of them come with generally 20 to 40 different tip sheets, which are different potential projects that you could look for that would reduce your energy costs, and a little bit about the analysis, how to recognize the opportunity as well as how to calculate savings. They have a whole series of webinars that you can access to receive training on a number of things, as well as not just for the manufacturing industry, but also for wastewater treatment plants. And they continue to add more to this. Some of their more recent additions include an industrial cybersecurity screening tool that's freely available as well. The address for this resource is on the screen, but of course, you can easily search and find the Better Plants homepage with all access to all of these things. Next, I'd like to talk about the on-site energy TAPs, short for Technical Assistance Providers. And there are several of these throughout the United States. Here in Texas, where I'm located, the technical service provider for the South Central region happens to be located in North Houston. It's the Houston Advanced Research Center, or HARC. But for each of these regions, there's a different TAP that's been commissioned and funded to provide no-cost assistance with any type of on-site energy. You can see the list that we provide there. Everything from combined heat and power plants to solar PV, to fuel cells, as well as solar thermal or industrial heat pumps. They will help you through the entire process. They can do a number of things for you. They can do initial screenings and feasibility analysis for which technologies might make the most sense for your facility. But they can also help you as you go through the bidding and implementation process. They can be an objective third-party review of any vendor proposal you get, and any investor grade analysis that comes with that. So they'll do their initial screening and provide you with a preliminary analysis, or they can also evaluate those of others. Another program that you should be aware of is the NIST Manufacturing Extension Partnerships. In every state of the United States, there is a MEP, as they're called, but they do have different titles depending on which state you're located in. So you can Google and find the homepage for the program, which is at nist.gov/MEP. But if you're looking for the specific MEP in your state, you may need to look at a specific name. They're kind of shown here on the map. In Texas, our local MEP is known as the Texas Manufacturing Assistance Center, or TMAC. They have offices in several major cities across the state, and that's fairly similar for most of the other MEPs in other states as well. Now, I'm including them on this list, but you should be aware of this is not a no-cost service. Typically, this is a reduced cost service. They do require some buy-in from the facilities, but they will go and look and do more than just energy efficiency analysis. They are trained individuals that can help you with lean manufacturing processes, quality management systems, how to handle your supply chain. I've been through several of their trainings. They're all excellent. We've worked with these folks in the past, and they are great to work with. But if you're looking for more than energy, if you're looking at more production optimization and process optimization, these are tremendous experts that you can consult for assistance. Finally, the last service provider that I'd like to highlight is the program out of the EPA. This is actually part of the Energy Star program, which you might recognize from buying a refrigerator or a washer dryer. They have an industrial assistance network. This is particularly valuable for those manufacturers on the smaller sides where you may not be large enough or to qualify for some of the other programs, or more importantly, you're a little bit smaller and may not have the same needs as a medium or large scale manufacturer. This is this is a network where you can join and get access to training tools and particularly networking coaching from other small manufacturers similar to you, as well as experts, as you seek to try and identify and increase the efficiency of your processes. These are generally regionally located. So if you go to the EnergyStar.gov website, you can find the region that you're located in, as shown here on the map, and get connected into this assistance network. Okay, that's a summary of some of the technical assistance programs. What I'd like to do now is talk just a little bit about some of the financial opportunities that are out there as well. The first one that I absolutely have to mention is what is now known as the ITAAC Implementation Grant. This is a program that was funded under the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, specifically to help small and medium manufacturers implement energy efficiency recommendations. And I want to say this and emphasize this clearly. These grants will provide up to $300,000 per project at a 50% cost share. So if you had an ITAAC center come and do a no-cost energy assessment at your facility, and they recommended 10 different projects, all 10 of those are eligible for an individual grant of up to $300,000 each. And it's a 50% cost share. So if you're looking to, say, upgrade the efficiency of an air compressor or a boiler or a chiller, or even simply finish off a lighting retrofit, or perhaps install a major piece of equipment like a combined heat and power system, this is a significant amount of money that could be dedicated towards some of these projects and have the payback period for any of these. Now, what we are able to tell you is, and the program managers have told us this and said that we're free to mention this to anybody we talk to, the application success rate that they're getting is over 90%. So if you are eligible for the program and submit an application, the success rate is right now at about 90%. The deadlines are once a quarter, so that our next deadline is going to be coming up here in April of 2025. Right, we're in January. And these grant applications are evaluated on a revolving basis. And it's just a fantastic opportunity to really get significant financial assistance with any type of upgrade that you're considering. Now, the process, as you can see here, is there's a few months associated with going through this process, but it's not onerous. The first step is to receive an assessment from one of the ITAAC centers. And if you don't prefer to receive one from an ITAAC center, other eligible assessment providers would include our on-site energy taps. And there are a few companies that qualify under a third-party assessor status, but those third parties typically charge money for their assessments. So I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you leverage the no-cost resources that you have available to you, which is an assessment by either an ITAAC center or one of the on-site energy centers. They'll come and do the on-site assessment. They will identify projects, write up the report, give you the report. The application process is typically a 2 to 3 page submission of what project you're planning to do, how much is it going to cost, and then you attach a copy of the report that you received from either the ITAAC or the on-site energy tap as part of the application. So the application is not significantly challenging. They're evaluated within a few months, and then you go through the negotiation process for getting the funding for the project you wish to implement. And again, you can apply for multiple projects. You can apply for one at a time and do these sequentially, or you can apply simultaneously for multiple projects and they will be evaluated. The ITAC implementation grant is a fantastic resource. The next best resource on my list is leveraging all of the rebates, tax incentives, and other grant programs that are available to you in your particular area. One of the things that I really like is a database that is maintained by the North Carolina Clean Energy Technology Center. It's nicknamed Desire, but it's DSIRE, USA.org. If you go to that website, you can type in your zip code and it will then provide you a list of all the potential federal, state, local, and utility rebate programs, tax incentives, grant programs that you might be eligible for. And then you can go through each of these to see which ones you may want to leverage. So for example, if I type in a zip code here in Texas, one of the resources that comes up is a utility rebate program from Entergy Texas. They have the Commercial Solutions Program that gives you the website where you can go to get more information, but in a great way, the information that's on this website is completely up to date. You can even click on it and see that the current incentives per kilowatt reduced or per kilowatt hour reduced for common retrofit projects like upgrading lighting, HVAC, or other things is quite significant. And almost all of these programs have an other category where almost any energy efficiency project you can think of would qualify for this other category. You would work with your utility representative to verify that, but you can claim rebates. So I love this database as a way as identifying what rebates or tax programs you might be able to leverage as you go about implementing your projects. And many of these are stackable, and so that you can get financial assistance from multiple programs for the same project. The final financial program I'd like to mention today is the Texas PACE program. Now, this happens to be a Texas-centric program, but I do know that there are similar programs in many of our surrounding states as well. So if this is something of interest to you, we can help you get contacts with similar programs wherever you might be located. But in Texas, the PACE program is meant to be an alternative financing opportunity specifically for energy efficiency projects. And instead of tying a loan to a company, the loan is tied to the property. So if the company is sold and the property is sold or the facility is sold, then the loan that is associated with the equipment upgrades goes with that sale. So that, and to simplify some of the financial burden and projection analysis. This is a program that's approved by state government. It's established by local governments with partnerships from local businesses and banks and so forth. So typical projects, you can kind of see a list there, anything from HVAC upgrades to, insulation for commercial buildings, but also on the industrial or manufacturing side, it could include things like on-site energy, like solar PV panels or combined heat and power. It might include things like heat recovery systems or simply replacement steam traps for your steam system. Anything that would help with the energy efficiency of your facility. So if you have questions about this, these folks are fantastic. Their contact information is provided here in the corner. They can answer questions about those. So I know I've gone through these fairly quickly, but I'm happy to address questions either today or simply by email. I would just like to emphasize a couple of things as we close. Number one, there are significant programs out there that you should leverage as a part of your operations and as part of your plans to be more energy efficient. You can get assistance at the front end simply by having an ITAC center come in and identify opportunities. You can get assistance as you implement programs, implement projects, and you can get financial assistance to implement these projects. So please, please leverage all of these to to help your own company be more competitive. We want U.S. manufacturing to be not just the best in the world, but some of the most competitive in the world. And anything we can do to make that happen, we're happy to do so. Again, my name is Brian Rasmussen. My email address here is on the screen. I would be happy to take any email requests now or later to get you connected to the right people, to get you access to the resources you need. Finally, just a note, as I said, our next webinar will be on February 14th. We're going to be diving into better understanding of your utility bills, understanding not just how you're being charged, but some of the really common and easy ways to reduce your costs, things that you may not be aware of, that you can take advantage of quickly to reduce simply your cost, even if you aren't necessarily reducing your energy use, just by using best practices associated with how you contract for your utilities. So that'll be on February 14th. And with that, I'll be happy to take any questions.
Brian, I don't have any questions. Well, I guess one, but we've used the Industrial Assessment Center a couple times at a couple different locations with our company, and it's been very helpful. Got a couple new locations, so we may have them out there.
Right.
You mentioned early on, this is going to be on the website, the whole presentation?
Yes, it will be.
What is, maybe I missed that.
Joanna, would you put the website address maybe in the chat box for, and I'm sorry, I didn't catch your first name. Is it Gary?
Yeah, first name is Gary Keeler.
Okay, I knew your name sounded familiar.
Yeah, I think we talked maybe.
I believe we have. So yeah, Joanna will get the website posted in the chat window for you right there.
Okay.
That's the website for our ITAC Center. We can also get to the website for the Gulf Coast Center as well. The Gulf Coast Center is the ITAC that we run is primarily focused here in Central Texas. The Gulf Coast Center, we've been charged with serving about 9 different states. So we cover a little bit broader area that way. But yeah, we'll get this up on the webpage for anybody that you'd like to refer to it, or if you just want to refer to it for some of the links or things.
Okay. Thank you.
Great. Thanks. It's good to talk to you, Gary.
Good to talk to you.
Well, Gary, we're going to end now. If you, I'm going to stop the recording. If you want to step off, I'm going to chat with a person who just barely logged in. So. Howdy. I hope we just got somebody logged in. Our timing is not perfect. We were just finishing up with some of the questions. Is there anything I can answer for you? If not, just please know that we did record the webinar. It was just about 30 minutes, 28, 29 minutes long. We're going to get it posted on the webpage here within the next 24 hours if you'd like to watch the recording. But in the webinar, we cover some of the information you might want to be aware of no-cost services for getting energy assessments for your facility to be conducted, assistance for specific projects like installing solar PV or combined heat and power. We talked about financial grant opportunities that are available right now, but only to individuals that have energy assessments done for their facilities, as well as alternative financing and rebate programs. So all of that's going to be in the recorded webinar that you're welcome to watch. And I'm sorry that the timing didn't quite work out, that your login was just about the same time we were finishing. But if you can see the screen, I will let you know also Our next webinar will be on February 14th at noon Central Time, and we're going to be focusing on helping people identify ways they can reduce their energy costs just from their utility bill analysis. So things that you should be looking for in your bills, things you're paying for that you may not need to be paying for, and so forth. So please feel free to reach out to me. My email is in the chat window. It's brasmussen@tamu.edu. So that's BRASMUSSEN at tamu.edu. My name's Brian. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll have a wonderful afternoon. Okay, Joanna, I just put them in the waiting room.
I'm so sorry, sir. Still recovering.
No, you're fine. I'll be honest, I'm preparing for another committee meeting this afternoon with the department, and I didn't have time to practice this presentation, so obviously I was a bit faster than I thought I would be.
Sir, you could have fooled me, honestly.
Anyway, the person, there was somebody who joined in briefly and then logged off
Mhm.
before I could even admit them. It was Cherie Lindley or Lindsay or something.
She sounds familiar.
So you may want to send her an email once we get the recording and
Okay.
just say, sorry, we saw you log in, but didn't get you admitted fast enough. Here's the recording.
Okay.
Actually, I didn't
Perfect.
stop the recording.